Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the town of Vesuvius. That's the wrong agenda. We better get to this one. I've moved one. Welcome to the Town of Vesuvius regular open meeting of council, August 9th, 2022 at 2 p.m. in council chambers. So I'll call the meeting to order and I'll first off look for an approval of the agenda, and there are no late items. Thank you. Councillor Rhodes, Councillor Bennett, all in favor. Thank you. And the adoption of some minutes, that would be the regular open minutes of July the 19th, 2022. Could I have a motion for that, please? Councillor King, Councillor Harvey. Is that all right? Councillor Harvey? Yeah, thank you. All in favor. Thank you very much. And before we start the business of the meeting, something very nice to do. And I would like to ask Director Davis, please, to come up over here.
Oh, you're in trouble.
You're toast? No, you're not. Director Davis, would you like to come up here? Director Davis has been busy. Am I standing the right way?
No, if you could come up more, so you're not on screen, so yeah.
I don't want to be on stage. We want Director Davis on here. Would that work?
Yes, he could go.
Okay, so we understand that you've been busy dealing with getting some upgrades to your education. So you have a certificate in local government administration.
Yes.
Does that mean you're taking over from the?
No, that's just a good way to recover from back surgery.
Well, good. So we're very happy to present this to you, and I'm reading from this letter. Gerald is to be commended on this achievement, which recognizes both his academic qualifications and work experience in the local government field. So we have a certificate here for Director Davis. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I also would like to thank the town of Vesuvius for helping me support and move through this, and some of my fellow directors as well.
Good. Would you like this letter as well? Because it says some nice things about you.
Oh.
Some stuff there. So congratulations, Jerry. Okay, so we will go to no public meetings. We have staff reports. And that would be get to it. Miss Curtis, you're doing the staff report today on 6706 Ponderosa Drive. Am I correct?
Correct.
Good.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Porta. So this proposal pertains to the property located at 6706 Ponderosa Drive. It is the recommendation of the department that the development variance permit application number 2201 be accepted, and that council authorized staff to proceed with the notification process, which advises of the council's intention to consider issuance of the development variance permit number 2201 at the August 23rd, 2022 council meeting. So the purpose of this report is to provide information to council regarding the application received, requesting a variance to the front yard setback. Zoning bylaw number 1085 in 1998 stipulates a front yard setback of 6 meters from the front lot line. The variance, if approved, would allow for a reduction to the front lot line setback from 6 meters to 3 meters. So the owner of the property is Mustang Pirani, who is the president of the Sandy Beach Suites Limited. And the applicant is Norman Goddard. And the specific address is an error. As you can probably see, I accidentally wrote 7606 Ponderosa. It is 6706 Ponderosa Drive. So my apologies there for the error. The legal description is lot 16, district block 40 of the SDYD, plan 3299, except plan 14503. The OCP designation is tourist commercial and its zoning is C4 tourist commercial. And as noted, zoning bylaw number 1085, 1998, section 817 2.1 states that the minimum front lot line setback shall be 6 meters. The property owner is requesting a variance to the setback in order to allow for the construction of a new ground level building containing 6 hotel suites and a lobby welcome area. It is just a singular suite, which will be going into the setback, as you can see in the plan below. The site plan below illustrates that there's also 4 existing buildings encroaching on the side yard setback, shown as buildings A, B, C, and D on the plan. And it's to be noted that buildings A, B, and C will be demolished, and the area will become a new green space. It is recognized that the variance requested under this application, if approved, will not bring building D into conformance. However, the proposed extension to building D, which you can see as the craft room, will not bring an increase to the existing encroachment into the side yard setback. Under the official community plan bylaw number 1375, 2021, the mixed-use commercial development permit area will be required after should the development variance go through, or otherwise, even if you don't, it will still be triggered, I should say. And underneath section 817.21 of the zoning bylaw, as mentioned, the setback is 6 meters and the requested is 3 meters. So underneath policy PLA 005, which is the Town of Osoyoos Council policy on considering development variance permits, states that consideration to the impact of the viewpoint of the neighbors will be taken into consideration in evaluating the variance request. And all written submissions from the neighbors will be taken into consideration on August 23rd council meeting, should this application be accepted. And our rationale for the recommendation is that subject to input from the neighbors, there are several buildings located on the property that are located within the setbacks, and these will be removed as part of the site redevelopment. The proposed encroachment is less than the existing encroachment into the setback, so it's less than what's currently existing. Note that the proposed extension to building D will not encroach more than what's already existed, as I mentioned. So option 1A is that the development variance permit application number 2201 be accepted, and that B, council authorize staff to proceed with the notification process, which advises of council's intention to consider the issuance of the permit. And option 2 is that council denies the application. In accordance with the council policy on considering development variance permits, council shall provide an opportunity for members of the public to submit written comments. Additional tasks would include monitoring the development permit and building permit processes to ensure compliance with the variance. And there's no financial or budget impacts associated with this report. And should council accept the application and authorize issuance of the notices, staff will proceed with mailing and hand delivering of the notices within a 60-meter radius of the subject property. The proposed location of the new ground level building is located outside of the 30-meter riparian area and will not result in adverse impacts to the natural environment. So a qualified environmental professional is not required. The fire department will be consulted following council's acceptance of the application. They will also be consulted throughout the development permit process as well as the building permit process.
Thank you very much. So I had to sort of look this up and see where this was. So it's Sandy Beach Suites, yes,
Yeah.
which is a business that has been there for many, many, many years. And my assumption is that the buildings to be demolished are some of the original
Correct.
cottages that were built. So can I just ask this, the new building will be added on to the existing, no, it was the welcoming area, the lobby. There is one in there. Are they adding on to that, or are they demolishing the whole thing and building it all new?
I believe they're demolishing the current building and replacing it with a new one.
And are they planning to do this in this winter, in the winter time, or do we know, or?
So just to clarify, Mayor McCordhoff, if I may, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
The existing structures that are on the western portion of the property, which you identified as the existing cottages, those are the ones that are coming down. The
Mhm.
welcome lobby isn't coming down as part of this variance. But a new development permit will be required, and that will be coming forward to council. Although it has been, authority for delegation of development permits of this nature has been delegated to myself. Given the, you know, the property and the exposure the property has, we would come to council with this kind of a
Sure.
development permit for your support. And then you'll see all their plans for the area. At this point, they're just looking for the variance to that particular portion so
Yes.
that they can continue the design work. And this is a side note, I have spoken to Rob Adama at the fire department, and he says that he doesn't see any problem at their end. So again, we would do further consultation with them as part of the development.
Sure. No problem. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordhoff. I'm curious about, because the setback is going to be basically 50% of what it normally would be. What is it going to look like from the front of the building to Ponderosa Drive?
It'll all be landscaped. Just, you know where that one building is?
Well, my memory tells me there's a little bit of a park area there and
Right, so basically the park area would be behind these new units. I think you can kind of see it on the plan. As Leah points out where they're going to remove the buildings, that will now be green space. The rest of the property will continue being landscaped and have that entrance in the parking area. That won't change.
could you just refresh my memory on stormwater?
On-site
because I-
stormwater management plan will be a requirement of their building permit issuance for the new, with the new building.
And is that contained on the property or
Correct.
does it go into Ponderosa?
It will be contained on the property and it'll be likely contained within that new green space area.
Thanks.
Okay, and go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just see two pictures here and I presume maybe the one picture is the old one where it shows an office and a lobby. And then on the next picture, it shows there'd be a one-bedroom unit where the office is and a bachelor unit. Or where the office will be and the lobby will be a one-bedroom unit. So which drawing are we actually looking at?
So I don't think that they've completely decided on the new structures. Like they're right now just looking at those 3 new units. That's what they're here today. They're here, we're here with their proposal for the variance to allow them to complete the drawings for the rest of the subject.
But I guess when I look at where it proposed new one-bedroom, I guess that would be extended out further, but I guess that doesn't interfere with the street, I don't think.
No, it's not. That's why we had initial conversations with members of the fire department.
Okay.
Interesting.
I had one question. The written submissions, is that you're only allowing written submissions? If from the neighbors? Sometimes people can come in person or,
They can come in as personal director of community, corporate services, they are allowed to come in and speak directly. But that's not been the.
at the meeting, in other words, at the meeting on August the 23rd, they would be, somebody could either write in or they could be allowed to speak. Am I correct or not? Okay,
We would put it under public and other hearings.
okay. Thank you.
Encourage people to write in or to call us and ask us so that we can provide additional information, because often it's a question of them just need more information. or
Sure.
clarification.
Okay. Council, what is your wish then on the recommendations? Go ahead, Councillor Rhodes.
Do we require 2 motions?
Yes.
I'll move the staff recommended option 1A.
That the variance application be accepted. Okay, is there a seconder? Thank you. Councillor King. All in favor? Thank you. And I'm a little concerned about the notification process. I'm just wondering if there is an ability to not only say the notification goes out and then they can come in person or write in. Is that correct? Okay, so is it correct in the wording then that we have here?
Yes.
Issuance? Okay, fair enough. Is there somebody who would like to move that option 1B, please? Thank you, Councillor Bennett. Councillor Rhodes is seconding that. All in favor? Thank you very much. So next time we'll see it is on the 23rd. Thank you. Okay, next is page 36, and that would be a report from, I believe it is Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, your worship, and members of council. Today, my report is on an acting mayor appointment. My recommendation is that council appoint Councillor Rhodes as acting mayor for the month of September 2022. So under the council procedure bylaw number 1367/2020 and the community charter, council is required to appoint a member to act in the place of the mayor when the mayor is absent or otherwise unable to act, or when the office of the mayor is vacant. A council resolution is required to make this change. And a bit of background. So council made the appointments at the December 14th, 2021 regular open meeting for the 2022 year. Councillor Harvey is unavailable during the month of September for his acting mayor. Councillor Rhodes has offered to be the acting mayor for the month of September. This option is recommended because Mayor McCordoff, Councillor Bennett, and Councillor King will also be attending the Union of BC Municipalities, UBCM, convention in September. So other options available is that council appoint Councillor Rhodes as acting mayor for the month of September 2022. The council appoint another council member as acting mayor for the month of September 2022, or that council makes no changes to the acting mayor appointments. So implications to the community is the leadership provided in the mayor's absence. There's no organizational concerns, no budget concerns, and significant dates are a member of council must be appointed as acting mayor to act in the place of the mayor when the mayor or otherwise is unable to act. Sustainability is continuity in leadership, and others consulted were Director of Corporate Services, and I'm recommending option 1.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Robinson. Councillor King.
Yeah, I'll move option 1 that we appoint Mr. Rhodes acting mayor for September.
Is there somebody willing to second that? Councillor Harvey. Thank you very much. So all in favor? Thank you very much, Councillor Rhodes. Okay, so we are now looking at the general net payroll, Sun Bowl Arena financial accounts. And as of August the 9th, general cash requirements are $4,734,884.21. Sun Bowl cash requirements of $13,583.85, and net payroll accounts of $116,490.46. And so we either approve those for information or to request additional information from staff. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. You have to know I would ask this. The cash requirements are extraordinarily high.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if you could maybe give us a bit of an explanation for it.
Absolutely. So August 1st is our due date for transfer taxes to other jurisdictions. So we had a payment to the RDUS for $1.4 million, as well as to the Minister of Finance for $2.4 million. So that's the lion's share of those increases. So one was for school tax, one was for the RDUS requisition. We got Receiver General in there as well, which was, I think, $80,000 for 2 pay periods. So those ones were the majority of those expenditures, and that's why it's really high.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have a mover and a seconder for that. So
No.
we do not. All right. Are you moving that? Councillor Rhodes, seconding, Councillor King. All in favor? Thank you very much. Yes, that number stands out for sure, doesn't it? So thank you, Mr. Zackel. We knew that there would be a reason. Okay, next is the building permit. And I'm not sure this is totally up to date because it's not very big, this one, and I understand that we may have some other things that have been added. But we have an amount of, for the month of July, we have an amount of 105,700. And that would be for a wall, our existing deck, demolition of some residences on property, a detached garage, an in-ground swimming pool, and a detached garage. Now, to date, for 2022 is 15,396,700. And to date in 2021 was 19 million, just over. So there was more building permits last year at this same time, right? However, I think you told us this morning, there might be a few more on the books that we haven't included. Yes,
It's just a little slow getting out.
that's fine. So this is accurate for this report in July, but there's others that have, thank you very much. So could we have a motion, please, to receive the building permit report? Thank you. Councillor Bennett, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you. And we will now go on to the CAO's report. And before we ask that, I apologize. I think I was busy dealing with Mr. Davis at the beginning, and I forgot to introduce our CAO, Rod Risling, who has just started at about a week ago. And he's been busy already, and we're very happy that you have decided to come and join us in Osoyoos. So thank you and welcome to Mr. Risling. And now we'll ask for your report.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I'm really happy to be here. I've spent multiple summers here and actually have a home, so it is different actually coming here and then going to work.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, so I started last Tuesday, and so I spend a majority of my time getting acquainted with some of the staff. I've only made it out to the operations yard so far. I hope to go to community services this week, likely tomorrow or the next day. So that's a high priority of mine. I've also been able to attend a couple of the festivities within town. So I made it out to the farmers market on Saturday and music in the park on Friday. So it's always great to see a lot of that entertainment. That's not really part of my job description, but I certainly enjoy the community and all that it has to offer residents and I guess tourists before, now residents. So enjoy it from both sides. And as I indicated before, the big thing that occurred last week is just orientation. For the rest of the report, the things that have changed over the last couple weeks here is there's been a little bit more of an uptake on our the elections. We're doing more of the training and getting those packages ready. Business as normal for a tourist community as far as on the bylaw front, and just busy all around and keeping the community clean and keeping things in order. Business licenses, we had 5 over the last couple of weeks, which is great news. We had 3 additional new single family dwellings, which we talked a little bit about earlier. Probably maybe one more thing I'll mention this afternoon that was also mentioned this morning is our fire department's also been unfortunately busy, but on the good front, helping our neighbors. They've made it out now, I believe 3 times as of this morning, changed to 3. We were at twice. So helping our neighbors, and hopefully that will get under control soon. And the region and visitors will be able to enjoy our bright blue sky once again. We also had the boil water notice, and really unfortunate this has occurred during this time or any time. It's not something that any of us are great to see. I can say the staff are working hard, and hopefully within the next few days that notice will be lifted. Absolutely feel bad for those that are impacted directly, and again, hopefully soon that will be addressed. I got to emphasize that there's a lot of work on the waterfront, just to reassure people that our water is safe. In fact, in every single week, there's an excess of 200 tests that are performed on our system, like throughout our system, to ensure that the system is safe. And if it isn't, we take measures. And unfortunately, with this situation, we had to go one step to issue the boil water notice. So, keeping our fingers crossed, things are improving according to our staff on the front lines. So hopefully within a few days, we've got some good news and we can get back to normal. But again, want to apologize to those that are directly impacted by this situation. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Could we have a motion, please, to receive the CAO report? Thank you. Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you. And so now we will go on to council reports. Councillor Harvey, you're up first.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have anything council related or town related to report this week.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Rhodes.
I do not have anything to report.
Okay, thank you. Councillor King.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to report. I guess a couple of meetings with accessibility and community service have been canceled because it's summer and most people seem to be away, so we can't get a quorum, but we are hoping to meet this Thursday for the first time publicly.
Good. Okay, thank you. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just one quick report. It was a good announcement for the Trails of the Okanagan. Basically, there's 200 kilometers from Sicamous to Soyuz. And it was just announced last night that there's a $12.5 million federal grant been sent out to the Shuswap North Okanagan Rail Trail to develop the trail between Sicamous to Armstrong. So it's about half the trail, so it's huge. So as the trail comes closer to Soyuz, this is becoming really, really exciting.
Good. Okay, thank you very much. So town has been busy over the last few weeks. It's also been very hot. So we certainly have appreciated having the cooling centers open, and they continue to be as necessary. I have attended a couple of regional district meetings, and of course, we all see it on the news, the Karamias Creek fire, which is smack in the middle of the regional district. And so we get fire updates daily. Every day at 2 o'clock, there is an EOC, Emergency Operations Center update with the fire. The communications director is on there, and he explains what's happened to the fire, who's been helping, how they're dealing with people being evacuated, because there's a lot of people that have been evacuated and a lot of people on alert. Those are on at 2 o'clock every day. When I'm not at council meeting, I quite often attend those, but you can see them on Castanet. And you can go on YouTube, the RDOS site, YouTube will have those on as well. They're quite interesting and certainly up to date. At the last meeting that we had, the regional district, we had a Métis speaker. And for the last couple of months, the regional district meetings have had once a month. We've had somebody come and speak on Truth and Reconciliation. We had Patrick Kelly earlier in the month talking about, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the Indian Act and that type of thing, and quite interesting. So a lot of things that we didn't know when they were allowed in provincial elections, municipal elections, and federal elections, not allowed to vote in federal elections till 1960. So this time it was a gentleman from Princeton who is Métis, and he explained that Métis really means mixed blood. So most of us are probably mixed blood somewhere along the line. So we would consider ourselves Métis, but he was quite interesting talking about some of the things that they do to celebrate their heritage. And we found that these meetings have been quite interesting to the directors at the regional district, and we've learned quite a lot. So we appreciate having this information, which much of the time I didn't know about. So it's a real learning experience for all of us directors. Music in the Park continues to be on every Friday night down at the band shell. And last week, there was a band from Vancouver. One of the people playing the guitar actually graduated, not the same year as me, but from the same school. So we had a little chat afterwards. There was over 900 people there last week, and we do count, or not me, but Marcel St. Louis has a counter, and he goes around at one point. I mean, it's not totally exact, but it's pretty close, and that's a lot. So Councillor King and I are often there, and I'm happy to see that our CAO was there last week too. This goes on every Friday night. The last concert is September the 2nd. And they've all been really good and well supported by people in the town. I was at Desert Park the other day on Saturday. They had an open house and it was very well handled. They had animals there and rides, a hayride. Councillor King sent a picture of himself on the hayride. And there was food trucks, and Brock from the radio station was there. I was quite interested in Alert, ALERT, which is an animal rescue. And they were there. And they had a table. So I went and talked to them because at our last regional district meeting, the CAO mentioned, who's also in charge of VOC, mentioned that many of the animals that had been on acreages that have been evacuated have ended up down in Osoyoos at Desert Park. So I was quite interested in hearing about this. And the lady who I talked to said, well, would you like to come and see some of them? So she showed me where they had some pigs and some goats and chickens and a rooster and a pig named Lily, I think. And it was quite interesting. And I said to her, gee, I knew about this because of the regional district, and I just want to thank you guys for being here and using these barns and places. Would you like to come and talk to town council? So I have a card, Mrs. Hilson, which I will give you. And they said yes, because I thought it's a volunteer organization. They depend a lot on donations from people. And I thought, it might be good to bring that awareness to people in town, specifically if some of the animals are being kept here at Desert Park. So that was on August the 6th, and we thank the people at Desert Park for organizing this particular day. It was good. So thank you very much. That's my report, and I will now move into the in-camera sessions. And so I need a motion that pursuant to section 91C of the community charter, council meeting be closed to the public as the subject matter relates to or is one or more of the following. Section 91C, a matter relates to labor relations or other employee relations. Section 91K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages and that in the view of the council could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they were held in public. So could I have a motion, please, to go in camera? Thank you. Councillor King, Councillor Rhodes, all in favor.